Hey there! Welcome to the paper flow tutorial on basic mask folding techniques. I will show you these techniques by folding this mask right here. And for this mask, I use the technique of making three pleats, one for the eyes, a parallel pleat for the nose, and another one for the mouth. All the rest is just shaping. This is a technique used by many other origami artists, like Daniel Chang, for instance, who is probably most famous for this technique, or other artists like Andreas, Borup, Jensen, Chelmare, and Sebastien Limet. I have also used this technique already in some of my previous masks. Keep in mind, when folding a mask like this is mostly free folding, so this means there are little to no references, and every time you fold a mask like this, it will look different. And this is a good thing, because every mask will have a different expression. Alright, let's get in the flow. So what we're gonna need is a piece of watercolor paper. This can be any kind of thick watercolor paper, I'd say at least 300 grams. But my personal preference and the paper I'm using here is Arches. I'm using a 30 by 30 centimeter square, but you can also use a rectangle, or you can even orient your paper differently, and you can pretty much use any size of paper. I'd say use at least 15 centimeters, but anything above will be fine. The next thing you'll need are clamps. You can use any kind of clamps, small ones, big ones. Maybe it's even good to have several. And finally, something to wet your paper. First thing you do is moisten your paper. Don't moisten it too much or it will not hold folds, but moisten it enough so when you fold the paper, it doesn't crack. You don't see the creases too hard. Now we will mark the half of our paper. Make sure to make a really soft fold like this. We just want to know where the middle of the paper is. Once you've done this, we're gonna fold the paper in half again in the other direction. Not all the way in half. Take a few centimeters above halfway, and this is where your nose bridge will be. You can also choose different locations for different kind of masks. Make sure to experiment with that. Make the crease sharp only in the middle. Now we will use this to make a sort of crimp, where this is the valley fold and we make a curved mountain fold on top. To do this, you bend your paper like this. You can grab it in the back. Make the mountain fold so it looks like this in the back and like this in front. Don't make it too wide. When done correctly, your paper should be in an angle like this. This line is gonna be the nose, and we're gonna now split the upper mountain in two different mountain folds sideways that will shape the eyebrows. So this mountain becomes two mountains actually. When you do this, you will lose the angle in your paper. When you open up the paper, it should look like this here. Don't worry too much about the eyebrows yet. Now we're gonna focus on the nose, and you can choose the length of your nose. Don't make it too long so you have still enough paper for the mouth and chin. When you've chosen the length, you make a mountain fold where the tip of the nose will be. Make sure the mountain fold is horizontal by checking the sides of the paper. Next we will make a valley fold a bit underneath the mountain folds, I'd say at least 1 centimeter. And also make this one sharp all the way. Once we've finished this pleat, we will make another pleat very similar to this one for the mouth. So choose how long the distance between the mouth and the nose will be, and make another mountain fold all the way parallel to the other one. And again a valley fold underneath. This shouldn't be as far from the mountain fold as you did for the nose. I'd say somewhere between 0.5 centimeter and 1 centimeter. If you want to make a big open mouth, you can use more, but make sure you have enough space left for the chin. If you're using a rectangle paper or a longer strip of paper, you can leave enough space underneath the mouth for instance, a beard or a neck or even a bust. When you've finished making the pleats, we're gonna focus on the nose again, and now is a good time to put a clamp on where you made the crimp for the nose bridge. If you feel your paper is getting too rigid, you can of course moisten it again every once in a while. So here I'm defining the nose bridge already a bit more. And now we will start shaping the nostrils here and the philtrum. For this we turn to the back. And we're gonna pull out the paper here so we can put our finger underneath on the front. This will enable us to shift the mountain crease in the back like this by pushing down on it like this. And pushing down, make sure you push all the way down to the valley crease. Also squeeze your paper together like this. You will get a soft mountain like this. So here you can already see the nostrils and the philtrum. When you're happy with the result, you can put a clamp in the back. And then we can start working on the sides of the nose and the nostrils some more. For our mask, we're gonna keep our pleats parallel to each other. But if you want to add more volume to your mask, you can actually shift the pleat downwards in a downwards angle like this. To shape the nostrils, we're gonna shift this mountain fold here upwards a bit in an upwards curve. It's best to put a finger in the back and grab the paper there, and then just start pushing up like this. Then try to make it symmetrical on both sides. When it's about symmetrical, you can start making the folds in the back more defined. The upper part of the nose is straight up to the crimp you made, and the lower part will be more curved. It's best to make the nostrils wide enough. It's even best to make them too wide because they will thin more when the mask is finished. Meanwhile, we're shaping the philtrum, and on the side it has to be sort of a valley again. We'll finish the shaping of the nose later, but now we shall focus on the eyes. To do this, we shall focus on the back, take off the clamp, and we are going to extend the crimp we made here. We're going to extend it all the way to the side, but leaving the little curve you made here, so it will not be a straight pleat like the other two. Make sure it's about parallel to the other pleats. When you make the second fold here, there shouldn't be too much space between them, about 1 centimeter, so that's a bit less than the nose. While folding this, make sure you keep in the shape of the nose bridge. And also at the same time, try to shape the eyebrows. So when all the folds are sharp and it looks like this, we can start shaping the eyes. For this we turn to the back. I see I need to adjust the pleat here a bit so it's parallel to the other ones. When your backside looks like this, we're gonna grab the pleat paper here and have it stand up perpendicular to the rest of the paper. So it should look like this. Hold the paper with clamps, but move them to the side, so we have some space to create the eyes in between the clamps and the nose. We will first shape the bottom eyelid. Grab the paper in the back and start opening up the paper downwards. Make kind of a curved mountain fold like this, and now do the same on the top side. So shift the mountain fold into a curved mountain fold that goes upwards. Next, we can start pushing out the eye from the back. So we push here. While at the same time minding the front and opening up the eyelids even more. Now the top eyelid is a bit small, so we're gonna push it out a bit from the back too to enlarge it. On the front you can push inwards, so you keep the separation between the eyelid and the eyebrow. Try to make all the shapes you make really pronounced. And when you've got something you almost like, then you can start working on the other side. We will do final shaping in the end. Shaping doesn't have to be perfect yet. We can do further shaping when the paper has dried a bit. So now is a good time to move on to the mouth. It always helps to squeeze your mask together a bit like this. This will make your curves more pronounced. First I'm gonna make the middle part of the nose and filter them a bit wider. Also the nose has dried, so this is a good time to really sharpen the creases in the back. Always wait till your paper has dried a bit so you can sharpen the creases you need. Now we can actually start focusing on the mouth. And to do this, we're going to turn to the back and pull out the paper here and bend it downwards. This enables us to shape the bottom lip. A bit like the eyes, we have a downwards curve for the lip, and we will make two upwards curves for the top lip. Now, if you feel the bottom lip is sticking out too much, it might help to turn to the back and shift the pleat there, shift it downwards a bit more. Just try to play around with it until you get something that satisfies you. So you should end up with a mouth that's sticking out a bit. And now you can go over to final shaping. It helps if your paper is dry enough to really make sharp folds. When your paper is really dry, you should check the back and make every fold you see there as sharp as possible. So the eyes, the nose, the philtrum, mouth. This will really make your mask more expressive. So this is about it. There's a lot you can vary here. You can make different eyebrows for different expressions. You can make different eyelids. You can widen the mouth more. You can try different cheeks. Yeah, there's many options. In the next tutorial, I will show you how to actually shape the rest of the head and some curvy hairs. Bye.